What's going on, guys? My name is Aldenero and welcome to episode 93 of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off with a game at the Stadium of Light against Sunderland, and their midfield is really good. I said it the last time I played it as well, or played against them, but it kind of surprised me how good it is. But I've got some kind of bad news about this episode. The reason that Valère Bresson is starting in this game is because in his previous game against West Bromwich Albion, he scored the winner in the 76th minute in a 1-0 victory over West Brom. That game comes from a file on my computer which is actually corrupt, so I couldn't put that match into this episode. So you guys have not seen that match. It's happened, obviously I've played it and I've lost it, so you can't see that game, basically, is what I'm trying to say, and I think I've said it in a really roundabout way, but hopefully it makes sense. It's the only match that you guys have missed from this season, and I just can't get it onto YouTube because the file is actually corrupt and I can't even view it. But it was a 1-0 victory for us against West Brom. That's what happened before this, and now you're up to date with the current events. So, in this game against Sunderland, in the 53rd minute, the ball comes to Divock Origi, who works his way into the box pretty well from the left-hand side and goes for the strike, which is palmed away by Pantilimon, who got amazing fucking height on that punch, considering it was actually not even a punch at all. It was an open palm. That's amazing. But just past the hour mark, we came forward once more with James Ward-Prowse on the ball. He does well to take the ball around Wijnaldum and play it into Emre Can, who does pretty well with the strike, but again, Pantilimon equal to it. Sunderland were incredibly difficult to break down and also very boring to play against. That's something like... I've noticed that a little bit more often since the patches, that the games are being a little bit more boring, and I'm trying so hard to find new ways to open up teams. Like you'll see at this moment here, DeAndre Yedlin goes on a run the entire way across the pitch, just because I'm just trying to do different things. Like the games, I'm finding them to be very one-dimensional at the moment, and a few of the things that they've brought back into FIFA 15 from FIFA 14 are really annoying, because before the patch, the true balls never defaulted to the offside player. That was purely a FIFA 14 thing that I was delighted to see the back of, and now they've brought that back again, and that's really annoying. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed it. It always used to happen to me on 14, and it's happening now again on 15 since the patch, so that's annoying. But in the 83rd minute of this game, we did get a penalty thanks to a foul from Cedric on Andrew Robertson, and we did really well to work into that position, I think, because I don't know if we would have found the back of the net otherwise. But it looked as though it was outside the box, the contact there. But what are you going to do? Hector Villalba steps up from the penalty spot, aims it where it always goes, and thankfully beats the goalkeeper to put us 1-0 up in this game and send us marching towards victory, as he does that looked like the second half of the Robbie Keane celebration there. But in the 89th minute, Jack Butland's goal kick gets intercepted by Lee Cattermole, who plays it to Mavrias, who backheels it to Wijnaldum, who looks up and chips the ball into Lee Cattermole, who made an amazing run through the middle, and he finishes with a trademark first time volley into the back of the net, because that's what Lee Cattermole does in real life all the time. But no, that was a really annoying goal because of the fact that it came from a basic goal kick, and just because of the fact that it was a late equaliser for Sunderland. But we came forward not to be too deterred with Zivkovic on the ball. He plays it into Villalba, who gets a strike off first time, but the goalkeeper saved it and he clears the ball away. That's how the game ended, a 1-1 draw, so a share of the points in the league, which I'm not happy with, because we're now down to third in the league. I'll show you guys the league table actually after this squad report, but we need to catch up with Manchester City and Chelsea, and that's going to be pretty difficult to do because Chelsea making some real headway. They're ahead of us by a fair few points, but they have a game over us, so we do have a game in hand to catch up with them. But we just shouldn't be dropping points to teams like Sunderland. Like, I'm pretty sure I remember before I was playing against Sunderland where they went down to 10 men and they still held us to a draw. So maybe it's just one of those things that they're a difficult team to play against or whatever. But I don't know. I really want to end this season by winning the league. But another thing that I want to do is to get to top of the league so that I can apply for jobs, because in this game, like, it doesn't recognize that I'm near the top of the league, you know. It's like your target is to win the league and you're currently second in the league, therefore we will not hire you, you strange manager who is clearly not good enough to manage our club, who are in 7th place despite the fact that you have taken Leicester City to the Champions League and won the league, and you are an amazing manager. It's just this game is just really stupid sometimes. But yeah, so not much to report with the squad report itself, other than I'm still frustrated with the game. But here's the league table. As you can see, Chelsea on 65 points, 6 points ahead of us. However, as I mentioned, we do have a game in hand, so we're potentially just 3 points behind them. The one thing that's worrying me at the moment, though, is the goal difference. And you can see, like, we have the worst defense and goal difference of anyone in the top 4. That's actually a lie. Anyone in the top 3, because we do seem to be scoring quite a fair few goals. But our next game of the episode is in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Here's a look at the tournament tree. As you can see, Manchester United and Chelsea both left in the tournament, along with Crystal Palace, who actually have eliminated us from the FA Cup before. This is Newcastle United's starting 11. They've gone with Sissoko on the right-hand side of midfield once again. Which is just one of those little things that really annoys me, is that he's actually a really solid central defensive midfielder, and the game is like, nah, he's alright midfielder, and he just goes on the attack all the time, and it's really weird to me. But in the second minute of this game, the ball comes to Yassine Benzia, who does really well to get round 2 defenders, and gets brought down inside the box in the rain at St James's Park. The referee gives a penalty, definitely the earliest I've ever had a penalty in this game, and I really wasn't expecting to start this strongly from the off, because our next game is 3 days after this game, and it's against Bayern Munich, so naturally I went with a very sort of weak team, definitely a second string, apart from Hector Villalba, who for the second time in 2 games converts a penalty against a team from the Tyne Wear region of England. But in the 9th minute of this game, Newcastle came forward immediately with Abeid on the ball as he plays it into Sammy Amiobi, who looks up and plays it back in. Then Moussa Sissoko comes in, sliding in at the far post, and manages to equalise for Newcastle United. It's just one of those things where it's like, he's so clearly a defensive-minded player, who is decent enough at attacking. Like, he's got that high work rate, box-to-box type mentality, and they're there playing him on the wing, and he does really well on the wing, and I don't know, it's just a little thing that annoys me, I suppose. But in the 17th minute, we tried to respond to Newcastle's goal with Villalba coming forward. But then in the 39th minute, the ball was put over the bar by Abeid, and it went out for a goal kick. And this is the worst thing I've ever done, as Jack Butland passes the ball straight to Brown Idea, or whatever his name is. And he ends up scoring for Newcastle United in the 40th minute. And they had completed their comeback and whatever. I just felt so fucking bad after this, like, so frustrated. You know that kind of frustrated where you're playing bad and you know you're playing bad, but it also feels like FIFA is just laughing in your face. It was one of those, like, everything I did was just going wrong, and that made me more and more mad, and that's a sign that you have to just take a break from a video game when that happens. But we tried to respond immediately with a shot from Villalba, and then we come up to the 45th minute of the game, and that Julian Brandt throw-in that went over Huddlestone's head, I've only put that moment in there just to show how incredibly frustrating that is when that happens, because that's another thing that I hated about FIFA 14 that's back in this game, and it's just, I don't know. But that was the last thing that happened in the game, an incredibly dull game where we lose. We're out of the FA Cup, our treble hopes are shattered, and Villalba is going to miss 3 weeks due to an injury, so we're going to have to go into our next game, which is against Bayern Munich in the Champions League round of 16. And we're going in without our talisman, Hector Villalba. So here's a look at the tournament tree for the Champions League. A lot of amazing teams still in there, although we'd be hoping that Schalke could knock out Real Madrid, because that would take them out. But Barcelona's still in there, still doing well, still looking like they're going to progress. Other than that, I kind of feel like I could take any other team in the Champions League over a 2-legged affair. We take a 1-0 victory from the King Power Stadium to the Allianz Arena to take on Bayern Munich, and our strongest possible team without Villalba pretty much is on show, with Danny Ings actually starting up front instead of him. But the ball comes to Emre Can in the 6th minute, who plays it round the back to Tom Ince, who does really well inside the Bayern Munich box, and he manages to find the back of the net with a sublime strike that goes in off the crossbar and puts us 1-0 up with a priceless away goal at the Allianz Arena. Tom Ince has really come into his own. I don't know if anyone remembers looking at the squad report like 2 minutes ago, but I'm pretty sure that his rating has gone up to 83 now, which is really good, and his value has gone up to like 15 million. So since he's added the goals to his game, which he has done in a fair few instances this season, like there's been a real increase in his stats, his overall, and just his ability on the football pitch, and that's really good for me, because a lot of players struggle to do that with me, and it's good to see that Tom Ince isn't. In fact, a lot of the wingers, apart from Brandt, the likes of Traore, Origi, and Tom Ince himself, like, they're all doing really well. But in the 61st minute of this game, Lewandowski capitalises on a mistake from Koyate, as his attempt to clear the ball via a pass was not successful, and it was intercepted by the Polish striker, who found the back of the net with a really calm and collected finish, which was decent to see, I suppose. In the 65th minute, the ball comes into Schweinsteiger, whose header hits off the crossbar. He gets the ball back, and I was so sure he was in an offside position there, but the referee actually gave it a corner and not a free kick kick for offside, which I thought was very strange. But in the 84th minute of this game, Lewandowski plays the ball back to Kister, who comes down the left-hand side, puts in an amazing cross, and Thomas Muller is there at the far post to head Bayern Munich into the lead on the night, making it 2-1 and set up for a very tense final 5 minutes in which one Bayern Munich goal would be enough to see them through. So we were praying that wouldn't happen, but sadly in the 90th minute Muller came forward, his cross finds Lewandowski, his header hits off the crossbar, he'd get a second chance, but that goes over and we hold on to beat Bayern Munich on aggregate via the away goals rule and advance to the next round of the Champions League, which is in fact the quarter-final. So we're eliminated from the FA Cup in this episode, but it's fine because we're going to the next round of the Champions League, and that is the sort of benchmark I've set for which this season should be judged and how well I do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do leave a like, that would be much appreciated. I've been El Dinero, thanks for watching.